Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video today we'll be talking about the brand new Spirit sneak peek for the Halloween 2020 season. Today we're looking at the 6-foot flesh-eating zombie animatronic from Spirit Halloween. So let's dive right in. We have a new Flashback Friday. So many people, including myself, speculated that Flashback Fridays, as seen on the front page of Spirit Halloween, would become a thing and like an ongoing thing, and they did. So it wasn't just a marketing thing for Uncle Charlie, but it was rather an actual series of new animatronics. So this one's very exciting here. It's a revamped flesh-eating zombie, and although I think the vast majority of haunters thought it was going to be the Wacky Mole Clown that came back, we saw the flesh-eating zombie here, another seasonal prop, but this one, just like Uncle Charlie, was improved. They added a mouth movement, although they did raise the price $50, but I do think it's a justified raise considering the added movement and added detail. He looks much better than the original, and I do think he is better than the original. Uncle Charlie had some debate either whether he was better than the original or not. I think he is better than the original, and this one is also an incredible piece. Priced at $200. I think that's about just right. I don't think there was any debate. Usually a 6-foot animatronic at Spirit with 2 movements gets about 200. So it's a fair price, right? It's they reveal his name. His actual name is Aaron, as you can see there. And he leans from side to side and turns his head just like the original, but then that added mouth movement is a nice touch, especially for the price raise. Now, some things to note. I have heard rumors that this is online only. It does not say that, but based on the SKU number, the SKU number states that it's online only, but it doesn't say that. So it could be, there's a chance it'll be in stores. I personally think it will be in stores, and that's just a mistake on the SKU number. But some people seem to be convinced it's online only. I hope it's not, though, because I do want to see this in stores, and I do want to see like a flashback theme. Some people were saying, "Oh, what if they do a Flashback Fridays theme?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of crazy. Why would they do that?" But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, you know what? That actually sounds kind of cool. A throwback theme with all throwback animatronics. So this seems like a cool idea. The instruction manuals here, by the way. We could take a look at that real quick. Here it is, the flesh-eating zombie, and includes the adapter, and it looks to be a standard seasonal visions build here. I don't see anything interesting. This mechanism looks cool though, but it just seems to be a standard everyday seasonal visions build. Nothing new, nothing unique. There's that new step pad, so they're rolling with this new one again. Me personally, it's the same thing. I just think I kind of like the old one better, but I don't mind this one. This one's fine too. And there's a better image of the multi-prop remote. So there's the 2020 multi-prop remote, and I'll try and do a video on it if they do a cool little video for it or a sneak peek for it. But there it is. This is unreleased, and it's the new one. Doesn't look like it's anything different than the original, but it's black now, and it does look better than the original. And that's about it for this guy. Will I be picking him up? Well, he's basic. He's a basic animatronic, but I do like this kind of stuff. This just the constant motion animatronics that are basic like a zombie are really cool, and this guy's nostalgic for some haunters. And I will say he's a very cool prop, and I'm hoping to see him in stores, but if not, he'll be online only and has a very late pre-order of 10/7, so October 7th. That's very late for a pre-order. Hopefully that doesn't turn too many people away, but that does seem very excessively long for a pre-order. With that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more of these Spirit sneak peek videos. I try and roll them out as soon as the new sneak peeks are released, And as we saw last week, as soon as Uncle Charlie came out, the red jumping spider followed the day after, so we might see another animatronic tomorrow. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, enjoy your holiday weekend, and as always, happy haunting.
She never eats, she never sleeps, she never speaks, but she knows how to haunt you. It seems I've trained her very, very well.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Skullkrane Entertainment Spirit Sneak Peek video. Today we're going to be looking at the 6.5-foot Little Daisy and the Maestro animatronic. So now this is a big one. This one is 6.5 feet tall. Not the tallest animatronic ever, but certainly taller than you'd expect. It is a puppeteer, if you will, that is controlling a little doll. And this is presumed to be Crazy Create. I would have guessed Seasonal Visions. But this is a Crazy Create based on the molds, and this is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite so far this year. Now let's dive right in. It is a 6.5-foot, looks to be man with face paint, and he has a very creepy face. Love the face mold, although the mouth movement isn't dramatic. It sort of adds to the realism, and I do like the mouth movement. His arms move up and down and controls the little girl. Now, that's about it for the movement, but the detail is very good. The posture is very good. The little girl is much more detailed than some of the other animatronics we've seen with like small little child characters incorporated with them, but I do like this one a lot. This one's expected to ship on or before September 16th. And it is $299.99. Now, I will say, I think that's a little expensive for a 6.5-foot prop. I would have said $249.99. I understand that it has the girl, and some people are saying, oh, it's two animatronics in one. I never think that way. If it's sold as one piece, it's one animatronic. And it should be $249 considering it's 6.5 feet tall. And it's not tall, and it doesn't have insane movement. Now, if the little girl's thrashed and her mouth moved, and maybe the guy turned from side to side or leaned from side to side, we'd have more movement. Then I could see the price being worthwhile. But at $299, even with the coupon, I think he's a little pricey. However, that won't take away from the fact that this is an awesome animatronic. I don't think anyone is going to be hating on this one. I think this is going to be a fan favorite for sure. I do like this one a lot. The detail is good. The animation is good for what it is, and the eyes look great. The face sculpt looks great compared to something like the Peekaboo clown we saw yesterday. I think the face sculpt on this guy is much superior. Crazy Create did a great job on this one, and the little girl child face is much better than the Seasonal Visions ones. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe and turn post notifications on for daily Halloween videos. With that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, happy haunting.
Peekaboo! Peekaboo! I just love that game! Particularly with crying little babies. I'm ready to play again. Where'd everyone go? I can't see. Because I had my eyes closed. Blah. But I'll keep them open to see where you run away to. You can run, but you can't hide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Skullkrane Entertainment channel. Today we're going to be looking at the latest Spirit Sneak Peek, and that is for the 6-foot Peekaboo Clown animatronic. So this is what we thought would be Wacky Mole Clown. We saw this teaser, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and everyone thought, hey, this is Wacky Mole Clown. By the way, check out my latest video for a Wacky Mole Clown demonstration video. But back to this animatronic here. We all thought this was Wacky Mole Clown, and I mean everyone did. Based on the teaser, we saw clown music. It sounded like a clown in the background, and we saw swirly eyes which led us all to believe it was a new and improved Wacky Mole Clown, but unfortunately, it was not. We see this new animatronic, and I don't want to say unfortunately in like a bad way. I just mean like we all do want to see Wacky Mole Clown again in the near future, but we did get this new one, this new animatronic, and to me it is a Hugs 2.0. So I can't remember exactly if Hugs is returning this year. I'm quite certain he is because he seems to be back every year along with the creepy towering clown. Those two seem to be hand in hand in the themes every year. They just pop up in displays, and I like those two. I really like Hugs. A lot of people didn't like Hugs. I think Hugs is cool. Not the scariest, but I think he's a cool, fun piece to have in a clown theme or even just a regular home haunt theme with a bunch of scary pop-out animatronics. And the Creepy Towering Clown is the same thing, both by Seasonal Visions as well as this guy right here. And the detail on this guy is great. I think the costume is amazing. The shoes look great. The detail looks great. But there are some complaints I have. And first, I've heard that this guy is $220. I don't know if that's considered fair. In my opinion, I think this guy should have been $200. I think the extra $20 is a little bit of a kind of like unnecessary, if you will. I mean, look at like Hugs the Clown. He was $210. I think $200 would have been good for him as well. I think any 6-foot animatronic just by default should be $200 or less. I don't think that there's a single animatronic that was 6 feet tall that I can think of that is deserving of a higher than $200 price tag. This one goes in that category. I think he should have been $200, but let's go into further detail. He has this opening animation where he opens his arms, similar to that of the Peekaboo teddy bear from Techie Toys. It's been sold at Spirit for the past few years in different colors, and Kmart also carried variations as well as other Halloween retailers. But this guy is much larger at 6 feet. The arms open up pretty wide, and it reveals his menacing face. However, the mask of the face, in my opinion, is very lackluster. The teeth being missing doesn't add to the effect. I think him having sharp teeth would have been better. But I don't like his face sculpt really at all. I don't think I'll be picking this guy up because I just don't think that the face does it for me. If he would have revealed a more mangled face, I think that would have enhanced the scare factor because he doesn't have a pop-out motion. If Techie Toys made this, I'm sure they would have had both arms spring-loaded and his head would have kind of popped out a little bit. But this guy is like Hugs. It's a very slow animation, in fact, slower than Hugs. And that just sort of makes him not as scary. And if there's nothing scary behind his face, then the scare factor doesn't really exist. And I don't get me wrong, I do like this animatronic, and if it ever went on sale, I'd consider it. But at $220, even with a coupon, I don't see this guy being the hot cake of the year. I think Uncle Trelly takes the cake over this guy, simply because this guy doesn't have the scare factor or menacing look that something like Uncle Trelly did have. So I don't think this guy is the best. Hopefully they improve him for the final product, especially with that mouth movement, which is very, very dramatic. It's not like some of the other, like Hugs, for example, where it's a little more refined and polished. This is kind of all over the place. The mouth doesn't even seem like it's like glued in. It seems like they just put the mech right inside of the latex mask with no effort to actually secure it. So the mouth, if you look at the video that was played in the beginning of this this video that I'm presenting now, it kind of flops around. It doesn't really sync up well, and I don't think that it was a good medallion effort to make the mouth synchronization good like Seasonal Visions can do. I don't think this was their best effort, and I hope Mr. Salty, the other leaked clown from Seasonal Visions for this year that we haven't seen yet, kind of improves on that. This guy will be in stores with that item number 01, and I don't know where he'll be in either of the two leaked themes. You can check out my leaked theme video if you would like spoilers on what the themes will be. I will not get into detail on that for this video. I don't know if he's going to fit in those themes, though. He doesn't seem like he will. But props like Crouchy also don't fit in those themes, so I don't know what they're doing. But I got to be honest with Spirit, if anybody from Spirit is watching my video. It's time to do a clown theme. Put all your clowns in the clown theme and then move on. I think this idea of scattering clowns within the themes that make no sense is just not working. It's repetitive, and I think people that go to the store, not even to haunt, but just for fun, are noticing that straight up there's just too much clown stuff going on. why not have a clown section or a clown theme? In years past, there have been 3 themes. And I'm not saying we need to go back to 3 themes, but if we're going to have clowns every year, and clowns are hot sellers, I'm not denying that, but why not have a little clown theme in the center of the store? Like in years past, like for example, the attic, or the years before that, like we had the little haunted mansion theme. Just a tiny little theme, but let's throw all of our clowns in there and call it a day. Because I think having clowns all over the main store and having them like last year on a boat, it just doesn't look right at all. Like standard props, like for example, even the collector would be okay on a boat because he's just a little more like standardized and he could go anywhere. But a clown on a boat or in an aquarium, because we had clowns in both themes last year, it didn't work. I don't think that worked. I don't think last year. I remember everyone last year how they were like, "Oh, a boat and an aquarium. That's gonna be amazing. We're gonna get swamp theme monsters. We're gonna get zombie swamp guys and creepy mummies and things that would go cool in an underwater theme, such as an aquarium and a boat." But we didn't get that. We got a bunch of random stuff. We even got like electrified guys in the aquarium. What are we talking? What are we doing here? What are we doing? And they were trying to incorporate different themes, but it didn't work. I don't think last year's themes worked. Certainly a lackluster year in terms of themes. The boat was really cool to like walk through and look at, but it wasn't immersive like people thought it would be. You couldn't go into the boat other than one little archway that had no interactivity whatsoever. And again, it didn't work. I don't think it worked at all. I don't think the themes last year worked. I do like the photos of this year's themes because it seems more interactive. You can walk through them. There's a lot of different parts. It's kind of like 2012 with the barn where there was all those different little areas and years before that. So I do like what they're doing with the themes this year. I just hope that when the placement of everything isn't far-fetched and we have clowns just in the middle of nowhere. Because based on the photos we've seen, the layout already just doesn't look, for the animatronics at least, doesn't look too good. But the animatronics themselves are good. It's just that the theme has nothing to do with the animatronics. So for the future Spirit, I ask that we either develop the themes after the animatronics are released, or make the animatronics relevant to the theme in a way. Again, because there's clowns every year, right? So let's do a clown theme. Small one, even like the Jack Skellington kind of small little theme there. Maybe a little bit bigger than that, but you know what I mean? Something along those lines. Anyway, let's jump right back into this animatronic before we wrap up the video. Peekaboo Clown, the arms open, the mouth moves, the eyes are cool, but I don't think these eyes really did anything for this prop. I really don't. I don't think anyone's like watching him and like, oh my gosh, those eyes are swirling. I'm spooked now. I think I like the Wailing Phantom better because they actually utilized the moving eyes to their advantage. But this guy, the eyes are just too small to be noticeable, and it doesn't work. I like this costume. I like the overall height, structure. It looks like he's very well fitted. Like, you could look at the costume, and the costume looks really well padded. Hopefully they all come like that, and you don't have to use newspaper to actually make him look like that. It's just the mask and the mouth animation really kill it, and the arms should swing out. They should have made them spring-loaded. If they were spring-loaded and the arms shot out and his face was a little more menacing, you would have a cool animatronic, and that's a reference to the future. With that being said, that's going to wrap up the sneak peek, but I want to dive into a couple more things about my channel. So I am launching this new little quick program, which is going to be where if you support my eBay page or my website and put in the order notes / comment section your YouTube channel, you'll receive a free shout out at the end of the next video, such as these sneak peeks or any store tour or anything where I'm actually speaking. So it's just a little simple way for you guys to get your brand or your name out there. Simple. All you have to do is, if you're interested, go to my eBay page or go to my website, purchase anything, and when you put in your order comments or notes, just put your YouTube channel name and say, hey, I'd like a shout out, and you'll get a free shout out at the end of the video, like here in this time slot. That's about it. I thank you guys for supporting my channel. I've seen an uptick in subscribers, and I thank you guys all for being subscribers. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do so. It is free. You'll get daily videos on Spirit Halloween and more store tours animatronic demonstrations, and much, much more. Keep post notifications on so you get notified for more Spirit Sneak Peek videos, among other awesome updates. Please like, comment, and as always, happy haunting!
This little piggy went to market.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Skullkrane Entertainment video on the Spirit Sneak Peeks. And Spirit Halloween finally brought back the Barnyard Butcher. Jump, just kidding. They brought a new pig animatronic, and it is the 6.3. That's presumably a spelling error, but 6.3 foot, the Butcher animatronic. And well, he's a very cool, unique animatronic. I think his posture is cool. His look is cool. I'm a little spooked out by him. He's very, very sinister and will go great in a freak show. Definitely a big improvement from the sneak peek from a few days ago. In regards to that, it seems like there was a split opinion on it. A lot of people did not like that one, but a lot of people did like that one. It's okay because everyone is different and everyone likes certain things, and that's a good thing. That diversifies what people get, and that makes it good, so that way not every single person is getting the same thing, and then we only see certain things every year, but we get a nice diverse collection of props and animatronics every year at Spirit. So we're going to take a look at this 6.3 foot Butcher, or the Butcher rather, and this is the latest iteration of Butcher animatronics at Spirit. Seems like every 2 or 3 years they come out with a new one. We saw Barnyard Butcher in 14. I want to say there was a break in between that, and then there was the Butcher from 2018, Burlap Horror, if you want to call him a Butcher. He was really cool, and this is actually made by presumably the same company. This has not been confirmed, but from what people are saying, based on the appearance and base and everything of that nature, this is by Party Time Costume, a fairly new animatronic company, probably one of the newest, if not the newest animatronic company for Spirit. They began in 2014, making things like the Screeching Bat and the static Twisty the Clown. But this guy is cool. He turns from side to side and talks, says I think 3 phrases, which are okay. They're not great, but they're not bad. And that's all his movements are. But that's about it for the movements, and I would like to have seen maybe his cleaver move up and down, or maybe even have that seasonal vision sort of style where the head turns in the opposing direction of the body. But again, this is not a seasonal prop, although at first I did think it was a seasonal prop. And Party Time is a very basic animatronic company. They don't do crazy movements such as Techie or perhaps even Jemmy. They're basically doing stuff like this, side to side, or basic animations. And in the end, this is a unique prop. This is a cool prop. Will I be getting it this year? I don't know, because I like props that are cool and don't creep me out. This guy kind of creeps me out in like a sinister way, and that's a good thing for some haunters. But for me, he's just kind of scary to look at, and I don't know if I want him to be presented in my haunt, but he is cool. And at $199.99, that's about the standard 6 foot animatronic price at Spirit. Happy he's not $230, because if he was, I would have complained. But at $200, I think that's like right on the money. Some people are saying $180, but with the coupon that they have on the top right of the screen, you can grab him on September 16th, or you can grab him now on the pre-order. And yeah, he's an oversized prop, so keep that in mind when buying him online, or you can wait for him to be in stores. Will he be a hot seller? We don't know. He could be. It depends on how many each store gets. You could take a look here at some of the pictures. This picture is way cooler, I think, than this. It looks like there's a different posture here, because as you can see here, he's a lot more hunched back, when here he's straight. And I think this is a better representation of what he should look like. His face detail is really cool, and he's an awesome piece. So with that being said, that wraps up the Butcher. But let's dive right into a couple more notes before I end the video. For one, the preseason clearance sale is still going. Be sure to check that out, because a lot of items are selling fast. So I've been monitoring that a little bit, seeing what's hot and what's not. And some things are almost sold out, so I encourage people that want an animatronic on clearance, for this preseason clearance sale, which we don't know when it ends, but we assume that when it ends, it will be right into the actual season where we'll see stores start to open. So go ahead and check that sale out. Also, be sure to check out my own website at www.skullkrane.com and check it out for the eBay link in the top right. As you guys may have seen, my last half dozen or so videos have been on some of my animatronics that I will be parting with for this year, and you can go to my website and click on the eBay link in the top of the page, and you can check some of those items out. Also, be sure to use promo code YouTube10 in checkout on skullkrane.com for 10% off your web store order. That about wraps up The Butcher. Overall, cool animatronic. Let me know what you think by liking this video, commenting, and of course, subscribing. As always, happy haunting.